Okay, so last time on Curse of Strahd, I'll kind of go over the last story arc. Since it's been a little bit. You discover that the Church of St. Andrel, a place believed to be safe haven for Irina, has lost the bones of its patron saint, has had the bones of its patron saint stolen. Without it, Father Lucian cannot perform the Hallow ritual on the Feast of St. Andrel's in several days' time. Without it, the forces of evil could enter the church unimpeded. After some sleuthing, you discover the bones were stolen by the church's groundkeeper, a young man named Milojov. He had stolen the bones on behalf of the local coffin maker, a man named Hendrik Vandervoot, who claimed the bones belonged to a long-lost ancestor. Upon confronting Henrik, he reveals that he was recently confronted by a woman named Volenta Popotsky, one of the three vampiric brides of Strahd. The eccentric woman threatened to burn down his shop if he disobeys. Ever since Strahd's awakening, she has been eager to prove herself once again, and formulated a plan to slaughter the members of St. Andrel's on behalf of her master. Hendrik smuggled several vampire spawn through crates of dirt, where they slept in his shop's attic. After retrieving the bones and doing battle with the bride and the spawns, she flees through a window. Hendrik begs for forgiveness, and Father Lucian thinks it's best that Baron Blakovich doesn't know about the theft or the coffin maker's involvement. As you return to the Blue Water Inn, Joey, the DM, retcons what happened at the end of the last session. So I'm going to change a little bit about what was said just for make the story a little clearer. But you all, that night, are back at the Blue Water Inn.
He left. Quick, everyone level up. Hi, Joey.
We weren't leveling up.
Okay. I'll level up.
I don't care. I'll level up twice.
He'll do it. What are you gonna do? Stop me?
So,
you can always add more werewolves.
In the end of the last episode, you had met Irina, told her about kind of what happened in St. Andrew's. But the difference is this time is she was actually able to gain an audience with the Baron during the day, using her clout as the sister of the new Burgermeister. But she, well, I'll have her tell you. You see her at one of the tables, looking kind of frustrated. And after you tell her story, she goes, well, I had the most interesting conversation with the Baron when you were gone. And he has zero interest about any of the refugees outside his gates. Refuses to let one of them in. The only reason I got through is because of my brother and my father, I'm sure. It's like he's clueless about everything outside the walls. He refuses to acknowledge you-know-who, any of the dangers. It's just festival after festival, and all is well, all is well. And he takes a little swig of wine. He goes, oh, it was exhausting.
Are we suspecting that there may be some... She, like, puts her fingers together, like, intertwining them, like, connection?
Oh, between him and the devil?
Mm-hmm.
I think he's afraid of him, just like everyone else. He just refuses to barely acknowledge his existence.
Is it an barely acknowledging, or is it a oh fuck, what's the word?
You're thinking of denial, to a almost like delusional sense.
Perhaps, or you know, yes,
could just be
man,
simple
the head
insanity.
down, or that. Yes.
Well, it's like Mr. Bartatov said, the owner of the bar, that he believes if he brings enough joy to Velaki, that would somehow free him from the mist.
And desperate, too.
And it does seem to give some people hope, but you've heard those Watcher brothers and others just laugh at the notion of it all. And whoever speaks up against it, and her head kind of lowers a little bit, and she gives a little shudder, and she goes, "Oh, that Isaac man. If it wasn't for him, I'm sure the people wouldn't have a reason to be afraid."
Do they ever actually let anybody out?
You would know that people are free to leave, but like commoners would have no reason
Oh, is
to.
it the ones that are basically like the rehabilitation?
Oh, there was that man Udo. Remember that woman that got nearly trampled when we first arrived, and that monster of a man dragged her away.
Yes.
Well, her son, I've learned, was a man named Udo, who, during one of the sermons at St. Andrew's, was critical of the Baron. And he was brought to the stockades, apparently, for rehabilitation. That was days ago. I don't think they've seen him since.
Well, it doesn't seem to have a fairly outstanding success rate with this rehabilitation. It'd be interesting to find out how many people got out of there and see what happened while they were in there.
I've heard
If we
rumors
can
that
find anyone.
sometimes they, where those things like, you put your hands and your head and hands through.
Yeah, the stockades, I think.
Stocks. Wait, they're just called stocks. Like sometimes they put.
Pillories.
What was that?
Pillories are the
Pillories.
standing ones.
Sometimes I've heard they put these poor people in pillories in the streets, and they put donkey heads on them so people can ridicule them. I heard it was fun at first, but then, like everything else, it just got old and cruel.
I don't even see how that's like fun at all, even just to begin with.
And perhaps maybe that's why they stopped, because it didn't bring joy to the town. I mean, I had words with them as I was leaving. I hope created quite a scene, and she got pus out her chest a little bit in pride.
Good for you, Irina. Put your foot down. This guy sounds like a careless man.
But he is in charge of the town, and all the Barovians are still stuck outside the walls. I feel... And I don't even feel welcome among them, to be honest. They all blame me for my brother for what happened to the town.
It is. Oh, go ahead, Vio.
No, you first.
I was just gonna say, it seems so wild. I totally forgot. Vera? Wrong game. Woof. Romaia's voice at this point, so I'm sorry.
It's been a little bit.
It has been a little bit. It seems insane to me, either way, that anybody would be blaming anybody else but the devil at this point.
When tensions get too high, they'll go and blame the easiest target.
Well,
They can't
yes.
get to the devil, but they can get to other people.
Scapegoat. Classic.
yeah,
Yes,
very
that.
true. Very true.
As you're As you're talking, the owner of the bar, Erwin Mardikoff, this gentleman here with the salt and pepper beard, goes up to Irina and goes, oh, I forgot what her last name was. No, I need to know Irina. Coliana. He goes, Miss Coliana, there was a letter delivered to you today. She hands him he hands her a letter, the wax seal. And he goes, I suggest you read it. And he continues on to his duties.
Who did we give that to?
Irina.
Okay.
And what kind of seal is on it? Is it her family's or is it somebody else's?
You get a quick look. You would recognize it as the Watcher seal. And you would know too that they're them and the Baron's family don't get along very well. She goes, like, why on earth is she sending me a letter? It's like, well, let's see what it is. She will give it open. It says, Dear Irina, Coliana, and esteemed companions, I hope this missive finds you in good health and high spirits. Vallaki appears to have been blessed by your presence and the promise of the goodwill you bear with you. It has come to my attention that our paths, though they wind through such trying times, bear a striking convergence. Accordingly, I write you today with a humble invitation to dine at my home, Watcher House, at sundown tomorrow evening. You may find it on Vallaki's northern road, a short distance from the Zarevich Gate. I trust that this setting shall provide a quiet and welcoming environment to discuss matters of mutual interest and concern. My doors, as they have always been, stand open to those who wish for the best for the good people of Barovia. Should you choose to accept, simply present this invitation to my door, to my estate. I gladly await your presence tomorrow evening. Until then, I remain sincerely yours, Lady Fiona Watcher.
Well, she's much more well-spoken than her sons.
Yeah, they're as usual on the bar next to Rictavio, kind of causing a little bit of a ruckus.
Doing fart jokes.
Fart jokes mostly. Romaia, you see, I think it was Nikolai, one of the brothers, kind of eye you every once in a while.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Gave you the best 5 seconds of your life.
She said, I wish it was 5. 5 is something.
Awful.
Well, does anybody think, would you like to go to a dinner party? I guess it's just a quiet meet and greet.
Yeah, well, this can't be a coincidence after the scene I made at the Baron's estate.
Just wondering how she would have heard about that.
She goes, well, that is something...
I guess you made quite the scene if even she knows about it.
I'm like surprised we couldn't hear it down the street.
Have you learned anything about the Watchers? I'm afraid I haven't heard much.
Well, they're very well-to-do, and they don't really agree with what the Baron is doing with his festivals, and they kind of seem to think he's being negligent, is the word I will use.
She kind of glances over at the two sons. One has a pair of forks going up his nose. He's making like walrus sounds.
Standard rich people.
I mean, who knows what a walrus is, but he's making them. He goes,
Imagine there was an animal, and did this.
Yeah.
It had fangs like the devil, but bigger.
So big they were silly and not scary anymore.
He goes, well, they did invite all of us.
And apparently we're esteemed. I know we had a conversation with her sons. Maybe they also let her know that we were in town and perhaps asking too many questions. Well, at least
Perhaps.
more than everyone else.
I remember from your conversation that they didn't seem too fond of their mother. Well,
But they do seem to understand that she's fairly powerful in the town and the only rival to the Baron.
I think it'll be worth a visit.
It'll be interesting nonetheless. You want to
Good
go?
for grub.
By the way, where's Vogelsuch?
Who?
Wait, whose turn was it to watch him?
Ugh.
No, that's his thing. He watches the crows, the birds. He's out perched somewhere thinking about whether or not he should ask people if it was them who killed them.
Maybe he's
Or-
like he's in front of the church, all the gravestones.
Keeping guard.
Yeah, now that I think about it, the last time I saw him, he was reading all the names on the gravestones, seeing if he could find his. I don't think he realized he forgot what his name was.
I'm not bringing it up.
He's checking each grave. He's digging them all up.
You don't have to dig them.
Does this one look familiar?
No, I had more teeth than that, I think.
Back you go.
Marina will pocket the letter and go. Well, I suppose I should make my way to the church then. That's to be my home for the foreseeable future.
At least the vicar seems nice.
She'll turn to you all and goes, I suppose this is where we part ways. Officially, that is.
Now we're just companions and not escorts. Esteemed companions at that.
Oh yes, so the dinner to look forward to.
Maybe even friends.
I consider you all friends, even Vogelsuch. And
A little rough around the edges, but once you get to know him, it's okay.
More or less ragged.
and Dee's gives a little sad look. Like, "Aw." And Irina goes, especially you, Dees. She gives a little pat on the head, some scritches.
Loves the scritches.
He seems nuts about them.
Good.
Assume Deez has been eating like the nuts in the bar
Oh, yeah.
the whole time.
Run around each table, taking the peanuts, put them in his little cheek pouches.
He's just so cute, I can't even get angry at him.
Are squirrels one of those mammals that like can't control their bowels and just go when they do?
Oh, I don't know.
I haven't asked one.
No, I know that's with mice, but
I mean, I'm
We'll
guessing
say
a lot of
no.
animals who live outside don't really care where they go.
no.
Well, I'm for one ready to go to bed, and I guess tomorrow evening, sundown, we will have a dinner party.
And Irina goes, oh, and it's Arabelle's naming day tomorrow, remember?
I mean, since it's sundown, we'll have plenty of time to bring that over, and then come back.
Sounds like a plan.
Right. You all take a long rest.
Woo!
Irina will kind of go to the church. The father will kind of show her living quarters. She can't live at the inn. Then the next morning you wake up Once again, Rictavio, the half-elf entertainer, receives a parcel from the owner. Gives you all a nod. This cap bids you good morning.
I saw the cart. Looks nice.
Rictavio goes, "Oh, you did? Oh, it's the wonderful, wonderful cart. Don't you agree?"
Well, the best carts are, when it's hard to not see it.
Especially like the coloring on the letters. Rictavio's Carnival of Wonders. Came up with the name myself.
Around here, it seems like just about any form of color stands out. But very nice.
He kind of goes, "Oh, I do hope you didn't try to enter it,
Why would we do that?
because that's where I keep my star attraction.
What is that?
My vicious saber-toothed tiger, of course." And he points to his parcel, and he goes, "Speaking of which, I have to go feed him."
Ah, yes. Go and do that.
He goes, tips his hat again. Goes, "Till we meet again."
Waits for him to leave. Probably a house cat. Illusion magic.
Yeah, I don't think that was a. Yeah, I agree.
Right, so, Erwin will give you directions to the Vistani camp. It's not too far away. It's only like a 10 or 15 minute hike from Vallaki, from the west gate. If there's anywhere in town you wish to go.
No, but will we be passing the same guard that Romaia perhaps persuaded a little too much?
So you
On the way.
entered.
Uh.
There's Here, let's go to the map and show you. There are 3 gates at Barovia. You entered over here. You entered from the east gate. There's a north gate that goes directly to the lake, and then the west gate. Where the Vistani camp is. I don't know if it's on the map here. I think it's close by. I don't have time to look it up, but it's extremely close.
Ray.
Where is it on the map?
Excuse me.
Maybe that empty hex by the bridge.
Now I'm curious. Let's see here. 9. Vistani camp. It says it's southwest of Vallaki. Yeah, it's not super important, but it is close by. As you pass by the guards, you don't recognize the one that you saw.
Well, that's lucky.
No tearful reunion.
Maybe it's on the map here. Just want to give people a kind of a sense where it is.
Yeah, it looks at camera. Can you spot
Yeah.
the cat?
I don't think it has a special section. It's just listed as a part of Vallaki. Um, get the map up. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
it's
the
like
quest-
it's in the woods, I think. Um,
Not very good woods.
well, it's a clearing in the woods. So yeah, it's not very good woods. The woods part to reveal an expansive clearing. A small, grass-covered hill with low houses built into the sides. Fog obscures the details, but you can see that these buildings feature elegantly carved woodwork and have decorative lanterns hanging from their sculpted eaves. On top of the hill, above the fog, is a ring of barrel-topped wagons that surround a large tent with a column of smoke pouring out through the hole at the top. The tent is brightly lit from within. Even at the distance, you can smell the odors of wine and horses that emanate from the central area.
Okay. Let's try the biggest tent if we can't spot anybody.
Is that what you want to do?
Then just head on in.
Yeah. Nobody's wandering around, right?
There's people near the tents for sure. The house is near the base of the hill. You do see some guards kind of standing watch at one of the houses.
Okay. I'll be sure to give them a friendly wave and stuff when we approach.
They give you a nod, and they do kind of a double take when they see you, Vio. You can see one of the guards kind of lean over and whisper something. But they continue to stand guard. As you get close enough, you can tell that these are elves. They have kind of this light brown skin, but the pointed ears are unmistakable.
No.
And you have all heard that
They're rare.
yeah, they're known as dusk elves here in Barovia.
Makes sense.
Pros, you got some pros.
Yeah, I guess.
Grude, just because they have some similarities doesn't mean that they know each other.
I'd be kind of pumped if I saw another orc here, but like, yeah. And we also just got told that there are not a lot of them around, so.
Oh, I wonder when the Vistani brought them in. They weren't here earlier.
This is a different camp than the one you were at, if you remember.
No,
The other one was
apparently
more
not.
other one was more like a caravan.
Yeah.
This looks a little more permanent.
But it's so there's more people here
Yeah.
than the other one.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's a bigger population.
Yeah, I think the caravan was only like 6 or 8 people.
Yeah. It was like a day away too.
It's only a day away. Guess we go up to the big tents, see if we can find where the little girl is for the delivery.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Okay. Up the hill we go.
Yeah, you make your way to the large tent, which has the lights coming from it. Obviously, the most activity. As you duck inside the tent, You hear the sound of splintering wood and shattering ceramic? Chromatic?
Type it. Ceramic.
Ceramic. Yeah, I was looking for the word. And shattering ceramic.
It is a weirdly spelled
Yeah.
word.
Blinking through the haze of smoke that fills the interior, you see 3 sputtering campfires burning low with embers. A total of 6 Vistani sit at the hearths, watching the source of the commotion with solemn, sympathetic looks. A shirtless young man kneels on the dead grass by the center of the tent, his eyes downcast and his face pale. Beside him, a broken wooden crate sits amidst a pile of broken pottery shards, several of which are still wobbling from the force of the impact. A dozen feet from the kneeling youth stands an older, larger man wearing studded leather armor and a thick, well-trimmed beard. His eyes are bloodshot, and his right hand is trembling. He appears to be leaning his weight against a makeshift wooden crutch for support. Looking down, you see that his lower right leg is wrapped in blood-stained bandages. "You were supposed to keep her safe," the larger man bellows hoarsely. He whirls, his hand grabbing blindly his hand grabbing blindly as if for something else to throw. Sweat beads from his forehead, and he chokes back a sob of rage. He goes, "My little girl! And now!" He wavers unsteadily and stumbles. In a blink, a third man, also clad in studded leather and wearing a fine-trimmed goatee, stems out from his shadow and catches the larger man on his shoulder before he falls. He goes, "Easy, brother," the third man murmurs. "You've lost a lot of blood." He glances up and catches sight of you, his brow tightening almost imperceptibly. I'm not sure what that word is. And it would appear that
Imperceptibly?
and it appears we have company.
Did we come at a bad time?
The larger man goes, "I don't have time for guests right now." The other man goes, "Brother, it would be rude. At least welcome them." He goes, yes, of course." He kind of gets up on his crutch, gives a little wince of pain. And he goes, "Welcome to our camp. I am Lavash, leader of this encampment. This is my brother Aragal." And he goes, "You beg my pardon, but now is not a good time for visitors."
Well, I'm sorry that we're coming at such a bad time, but we have to deliver this. Who actually has the doll with them?
Imagine it's in your magic backpack that you can access.
Yeah, let's grab it. Yeah, it's like this. We were told this was for a young girl. Player Steph forgets the name.
Arabelle.
This is for Arabelle.
You can sense that like he like stumbles when he hears this name.
Your
And he
words
goes,
were chosen badly.
Who told you about Arabelle?
We came from we visited a traveling Vistani camp, and they asked if we could purchase a toy on their in their stead, and told us who she was and when her birthday was.
Aragal goes, from Madame Ava.
Yes.
Like your great grandmother. Lavash goes, "Should have known." He goes, "Forgive my outburst when you entered. Arabelle is missing. Has been for several days." But he reaches out for the doll.
Grude will hand it to him.
He goes, she would have loved this. I know she would have.
Would have?
She will love it. She will. We have search
That's
party
better.
looking for her now. Several of the elves are aiding us.
Where was she last seen and what happened?
He kind of, with a little like more grunt of pain, he goes, forgive me, may I sit?
Yes, please. Don't hurt yourself on our accord.
He says, I was on the wrong side of a wolf trap. I was searching for her this morning. Or last evening. The grunt kind of sits down. He goes, where are my manners? He goes, what are your names?
Well, I am Minerva Makeshift, and I like all sort of tinkering. Not important right now, though, but that's all about me.
No. Just wish to know who I'm addressing.
I'm Grude. Nice to meet you.
He nods.
I'm Vio. Pleasure.
I'm here, Jess.
And Romaia is busy flirting with somebody.
Yeah. Aragol goes, outsiders, I presume.
What gave it away?
But enough to earn the trust of Madame Ava.
Yeah, she just popped into our dreams one day.
And now that I think about it, I wonder if the request for the doll had a further meaning.
I wonder, like, if she sent us here to perhaps help out?
Well, she can supposedly see the future. I guess that means we should probably lend our help and lend our aid.
Saying it happened 3 days ago. He goes, Alexi here, and he points to the kind of the pale-faced shirtless man. Was watching Arabelle as she played near the woods. I was mitigating a dispute between two families that day, so I couldn't be with her. But another one of our camp, a man known as Jan, got him drunk on wine. And when he woke up, Arabelle was missing.
Any indication at all as to what happened?
He goes, we found footprints. We found several, and a day later, one of the Dusk Elves found a body, Jan's body. He was without a head. And with it, a ring. I don't have it with me, but the leader of the Dusk Elves at the base of the hill might be able to help you. He goes, that's all we know. Our searches have come up short. And he kind of gestures to his leg, and it's not a good idea to go traveling at night, which I've learned the hard way. This is this Vistani matter. You have no obligations to help us. But Aragol goes,
Well, that's true, but still. It'd be awfully scary being a little girl trapped in the woods.
Aragol does go, it's like, but brother, you believe Grandmother Ava brought them here, one of her prophecies. It's like it would be unwise to refuse their help. And he goes, I won't ask it of you, but any help would be appreciated. It's not like her to wander off, and there was a clear evidence of violence and struggle. Saying, Yan decapitated. Don't know what I was thinking. What happened? He kind of like lowers his head, puts his hand in his head in his hand. He goes, my little girl, it was her name day today.
There you go with the was.
You must have a positive outlook, brother.
Well, named is a perfect day to get found, perhaps.
Trying to see how old she is. So she's probably like 8 or 9.
25.
Yeah, 25.
Oh wait, no, she's an elf, so probably 120.
Oh no, this is the Vistani. She's a Vistani, so she's a female.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We'll do what we can. I don't like the idea of a kid lost around here.
She has
It's
no
hard
idea
enough
who
for a
I-
group of adults, let alone just a child.
Yeah.
He will go. Say the leader of the Dusk Elves. We offer them protection from the Devil's forces when we can. Consider them allies and friends. He goes, the leader's name is Kashmir. Said you can find him in the guarded hut at the base of the hill. Perhaps he could provide you with some more information. And since we're not able to enter the town of Alaki, maybe you can be of aid.
Something we have seen is that allies are probably a very good thing to have around here.
It's so wise to have friends here in Barovia. You never know when you'll need protection or aid.
Anybody disagree to this?
Let's
And
go
he goes,
find that little
and
dude.
don't say I'm not a generous man if you're able to locate my daughter Arabelle. He goes, 500 gold pieces, or any of our treasures.
That is very generous, but
A treasure for your treasure.
yes.
Either 500 gold pieces or assortment of treasure worth as much.
Of greater
Yeah.
of lesser or equal value. Well, let's go talk to Cashew.
I'll write down the name.
I know, Kashmir. Or
Yeah, Casimir. Close. Casimir.
yeah.
You'll find him at the base of the hill. Sorry, I'm just reading the thing. Right, if you have... He does say that the body was found near the Lunar River, surrounded by signs of a fight. Was found by an elf named Savid, who found the headless body and the ring. He brought the ring to Casimir, to see if he had any information about it, since he is a scholar. but he hasn't been able to identify much about it.
You mean Casimir or the two brothers?
Casimir.
Okay.
Yeah. Alright. You want to head down to the hovel?
Yep.
Do you want to continue the plot?
Yeah.
This will activate a cutscene. Are you sure
Yep.
you want to pass?
Make sure you put aside plenty of time.
Save first.
Yeah, if you wish to save. You enter a small, cozy vestibule several degrees warmer than the chill mist outside. The walls of the small chamber are decorated with hanging sketches and portraits of proud and wise-looking elves with dark skin, tree-born spires carved of dark wood, and artistic depictions of constellations and celestial bodies. 2 curtains of dark brown fabric obscure the entrance to another small chamber beyond. Beyond the curtains lies a larger chamber, lit and heated by a fireplace at the north end. An old green rug sits facing the fire, just beside an old wooden table flanked by several chairs. The left side wall of this comfortable room bears dozens of cubbyholes bearing leather-bound books and small wooden statuettes of elven figures, while the wall to the right bears a faded tapestry of a lush and beautiful forest beneath a noonday sun. And you see the figure in a gray robe. He's facing the tower, on the fire. He appears to be meditating.
Polite cough.
He slowly turns his head. You see the face of Casimir, like the angular elven features. He has long, dark, black hair. And he goes, "Forgive me, you caught me in the middle of meditation."
Apologies. We were sent your way as we are looking for a missing child, and told you may know some things.
Oh yes, the young Arabelle. He stands up. Everyone give me a perception check.
I don't know.
It bounced off of Casimir's icon.
Only moderately better.
7, 9. Minerva, you notice that as he stands up, you catch a glimpse of one of his hands, and it is a pale bluish white, and the skin seems puffy and blistered. He makes an effort, like not to touch it, like when he stands up. He goes, let me introduce myself. My name is Casimir Belikov. I lead the Dusk Elves of this area. And his eyes catches you, Vio. And he goes, and it has been... And he kind of takes off his hood, revealing his pointed ears. He goes, and it has been a long time since I've seen an outsider elf.
Yeah, I guess in the older terms, I would be a sun elf, but nice to meet you.
Oh, it's like we're opposites. He goes dusk and sun. The night and the day.
All parts of the circle.
Oh, indeed. And I assume you all kind of introduce yourselves. He
Yeah.
kind of makes comment
Yeah.
of like the last time he's seen an orc or a half orc.
And what are your names? Pause. Are you sure you want to skip?
Yeah, just fast forwards through it all. He does say to Romaia that he's never quite seen a humanoid such as her. Not many tieflings, but he has heard about you and in various books. Those with infernal heritage. And he goes, you said you were looking for young Arabelle.
Well, yes, we heard about it, and we may have been sent here by Madame Ava to help out.
One of her prophecies.
Could be. She.
They are vague, aren't they?
Well, we came here under the belief of delivering a birthday present to her.
Oh yes, it's the young one's name day. He kind of has a look of sadness. He goes, "Poor child."
Well, maybe that can be changed. There's no verification of what has happened, as far as we know.
I guess when my scout returned, he found this. He reaches into, with his good hand, he reaches into his cloak and produces a signet ring.
Have we seen that before?
Well, it is a ring with 4 symbols with lines connecting each one, like a series of triangles.
And somebody doesn't know how to draw a star.
Yeah, they tried to draw a star, couldn't quite do it. He goes, he thought I could identify it, given my pre-Barovian knowledge and history. He says, but it eludes me. He goes, I don't know what they mean, but I have recognized the symbols. If you want to look at it yourself, give me a Arcana check.
Yeah, that's
Minerva's like in there, just be like, I can't quite. And then Grude just walks up behind. Oh, hey, that's a.
yeah.
Yeah, he goes,
Oh, I've seen that.
you think this is like such the most obvious thing in the world. Is that these are symbols representing the different schools of magic.
Minerva is most likely overthinking it
Yeah.
and such.
Just gotta let it happen.
Or at least 2 of them are. The School of Evocation on the left and Necromancy on the right.
Yeah, it's just that easy. Like, obviously it's the triangle and the square with the bits on it.
Yes, the paths seem to touch all the schools of magic, but they both begin and end with these 2 schools. Fortunately, I've practiced both kinds of magic around it and produced no results. I'm afraid I'm at a loss of its meaning, or who was carrying it. I don't believe it was Jan, the dead Vistani.
Perhaps he found it?
It could have been the kidnapper who dropped it, but it's not a symbol I recognize. It's not of Strahd or any other factions that I'm aware of.
Could it be
Sure.
another outsiders like us?
He goes, perhaps. But you're the first outsiders I've been aware of that quite some time. Most don't make it as far as Velaki. Most of them meet their end. Either in the woods, trying to slay Strahd himself. He kind of pauses a moment. He goes, I'm curious, have you seen the parade? The Parade of Ghost?
In
Yes.
Barovia?
He nods.
Yeah.
It was quite a lot, and you figured at least one person would have told you it was going to happen. But no, we were all trying to sleep, and we found this book. Anyways, it was just me, Romaia, and Grude in the room. No, it was Vio. Sorry, Vio. And then Grude and Vogelsuch was in another room. We don't know what you did. But we were reading a book about vampires, and all of a sudden a large parade of ghosts start going by in the distance.
I was just merely curious. I've actually always wanted to lay eyes on it. As macabre as that sounds.
It was rather hauntingly beautiful.
It's the first time it happened in nearly 100 years.
A strange coincidence that.
Strahd would often send the parade of the dead, as a warning when new visitors arrived. He goes, I've heard of the massacre at the village of Barovia. Perhaps it was a warning to the villagers themselves. But I've lost in thought. He will hand you the ring. He's saying, I'm afraid I have exhausted my knowledge of this. He goes, but perhaps, since you have access to Velaki, you might gain access to one of its libraries and find more information.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think we can figure this out.
A fair point.
And of course, the largest library in Velaki belongs to its burgermeister, Baron Velakovich.
Of course. Hopefully the rich lady has one too.
We can only hope, Theo. If not, hopefully talking to her will help us get into his library.
I don't want to talk to
I
him.
believe, from what I know of the Baron, that any sources of real knowledge he wishes to keep to himself, his family would have hoarded it over the generations.
Sounds like a real piece of work.
Hmm. He goes, I'm sorry I can't help anymore.
You've helped quite a lot already. It has brought us more questions, but it's a direction.
He will kind of sit back down, meditate, give a little grunt of pain as he puts some weight on his blistered hand. He goes, if you excuse me, I must return to my meditation. He goes,
Yes, sir.
and it helps me heal.
Yes, I hope your hand heals up rather soon. That looked quite painful.
He goes, oh, it's frostbite.
Frostbite. Has it been snowing lately? We haven't seen any snow.
No
yet,
snow.
right? Yeah.
You can probably see on the map that some of the mountains have snowy peaks, and he goes, I was visiting Mount Gaikus to the north, to the east. Sorry, west. Oh, my directions are messed up. He goes,
Right.
I had a fall. He goes, but don't you worry.
Yes, just have a nice long rest, and you should feel better afterwards.
Casimir will turn to you again, Vio, and go, I'm sorry if I am prying, and this information is too personal, but do you have a family, Vio?
Not one that I know of.
Let me see. No brothers or sisters or...
Perhaps, but I've never known them.
He kind of sighs and goes, I just know somewhere outside the mist, more of my kind have families they're able to grow, live on for generations. I don't know if you are aware of this, but the elves within the mist, Strahd took away our ability to reproduce.
How long have you been stuck here?
Since the mist formed. Probably about 300 or 400 years ago.
Some of the more lofty elves may not even have noticed you were gone.
He goes,
Hopefully...
He goes, if you wish, I can tell you the story.
Would you like to unlock the cutscene?
Sure, yeah. Wow.
He kind of like gestures to the tables. Well, make yourself comfortable. I'm afraid I have nothing to offer you in terms of refreshments at the moment.
Plenty all right.
You will stoke the fire a little bit so it gets a little warmer. And he goes, okay, so even now, nearly 5 centuries past, the memories are sharp and clear in my mind, like shards of broken glass. I was merely a century old when my people lost their freedom, when the tyranny of the von Zarovich clan rose like a shadow across the land. It was not Strahd that shattered the peace, but his father, King Barov van Zarovich II. In those days, our people dwelled in Ontradil, the Forest of Twilight. A council of princes ruled us, led by Everin Loneheart, my uncle, and a master of the art of bladesong. When King Barov's eyes fell upon our lands, he demanded our fealty, our tribute to the borders of Old Zerovia, the kingdom his ancestors once ruled. Everin, who practiced the style of... Irvan, who practiced the style of the lion and bore the lion sigil, was never one to bow. However, and he refused... He was never one to bow, however, and he refused. His act of defiance ignited the fires of war. Barov's conquest was swift and brutal. His forces, joined by Rahadin, my cousin, and a traitor to our people, he laid waste to our kingdom. I was a mage and scribe of Everin's court. I saw Rahadin shatter Everin's blade and execute his family, marking the end of the royal line. My people were subjugated, and those that resisted were hunted like rabbits. Barov ruled over us with an iron fist, and when he died, his son Strahd came to power. We rose in rebellion, leading the charge for freedom. But Strahd was even more cunning and cruel than his sire. He quashed our revolt in a matter of days, and slaughtered our people in a genocide that left less than 100 of us alive. he left us, the survivors, to the mercies of the Vistani, who took us into their caravans and led us to sanctuary in this valley. Strahd's hunger of conquest, however, was endless. Within a year, the last of his enemies had fallen, and he had claimed the valley. For his own, naming it Barovia. We found ourselves trapped, imprisoned in the heart of the conqueror's old new empire. By then, however, he had built a home here, and he chose to remain, hoping. We had built a home here, and chose to remain, hoping in our heart of hearts that the Vistani kindness would keep us safe. And so here we had remained ever since. And I'll clarify what he said. The reason we cannot reproduce is that he slaughtered all of our women. He says all but one became one of his brides.
Yeah, he does seem like the type for that.
And I believe as DM he was Rahadin's sister, so it was probably his cousin.
Oh, of course.
This is all absolutely dreadful.
So we're victims of circumstance, you can say. Being trapped in the mist when they arrived.
Then, do you have memories of Strahd before he was as he is now, or was he always like this?
Oh, he was once a man. Many of the people of Barovia believe he is a manifestation of their sins, meant to punish them. But no, he was a man from a nation known as Zerovia. It was a long-forgotten land, now separated by the mist. But he was ambitious. He was cruel and a conqueror, much more than his father was. He goes, I was there when he slaughtered our women. He goes, I do not wish to think about it. Too many painful memories.
Yes, of course.
But his cruelty has multiplied since his curse. Since he brought about the mist, became a vampire.
Do you know who or what cursed him to begin with?
Yeah. Because they say he made a pact with a dark power. The dark gods of whatever realm they reside in. And that's what brought the mist. That's what turned him to what he is today. Saying the horrific deeds he must have performed to gain such a evil thing.
And yet it makes him as much he can't leave though, correct?
Oh, he is a prisoner of the mist just as much as you and I.
Always read the fine print.
He goes, imagine a conqueror with no more lands to conquer. Just out of reach. Just beyond his grasp.
As much as I like him living his own personal hell, it doesn't seem quite fair to make sure everyone else is here as well. So.
Yeah, he seems to want to take it out on other people.
The last 100 years have been relatively quiet. Occasionally, his brides would cause trouble. Their own foolish pursuits for power.
Somebody said he was resting during it.
So I guess it's uncommon for him to lay asleep for so long, but he did so for nearly a century. He goes, the rumors I hear is that some foolish Barovians attempted to slay him, led by some ridiculous vampire hunter.
Oh, that's not a rumor. That did happen.
Van Richten.
Yes, Van Richten. All dead, I suppose.
What was I don't know if he himself helped lead it. He may have merely inspired it.
If you remember the story, there was a man named Doru, the one that you fought that was a vampire spawn.
He liked the book, and it was. I thought I remembered it like talking to him inspired him into.
Yeah, you kind of found out later that there was a visitor that was actually Van Richten. So once Doru found that out, he convinced them to go to the castle and try to slay Strahd.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and he brought a bunch of Barovians with them. One of them was Esther, the spawn that was driving Strahd's carriage.
Yeah.
That was a friend of Doru's. But you don't know what happened to Van Richten after that, if he's even still alive.
Yep. I just got a page of his book.
Yep. He goes, many of my people have had centuries to accept our fate, that over time will slowly die out. 'Cause some think us immortal, but it's not so.
Still longer than humans, though.
He goes, yes. Many of them, nearly all of them, don't know a world where Strahd wasn't asleep. They don't know the horrors that he brings.
Apart from the Vistani, I believe you are the only ones old enough to remember such a time.
The Vistani are humans, but they keep their memories alive in stories.
Yes. They can also leave.
He nods.
But the sun itself is merely stories to the people in town. None of them have ever actually seen it.
Oh, the sun. Yeah, okay, I was trying to remember what you mean. Yep. Yes, many of, I imagine all Barovians yearn for the sun. That's why they cling so tightly to the Morning Lord. In hopes that they would bring the sun again. I've heard of the current Burgermeister of Balaki. Obsessed with the sun. Seeing it again.
And some really crazy notions on how to get to it.
All second-hand accounts on my part.
He believes that with enough joy, they can summon the sun, essentially, and break apart the fog in the sky with overwhelming happiness.
Toxic positivity. Hate it.
Mandatory happiness.
Is that the name of a Weird Al album?
No, I think that's mandatory fun.
Mandatory fun. Same thing. Oh, what if Weird Al was in Velaki? That would be fun.
I mean, that guy could be anywhere and it would be fun.
You know that his his pony Sona married Pinkie Pie in My Little Pony?
Yes.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Lucky guy. Casimir goes, do you want to see my my pony of sea?
Are you, perchance, a brony? I'm a Pegasister.
The room was described as having a bunch of figurines
Yeah.
along the wall.
On closer inspection, they're all My Little Pony.
Yep.
With
Legally
long,
distinct.
long ears.
He goes, but if you're able to locate this Vistani girl, I urge you to do so. He goes, a child's life has so much potential. And she deserves the chance to grow old, to have children of her own.
And hopefully she will live long enough for the sun to return.
Hope you all see it one day.
I don't want to be here that long.
But again, he'll return to his meditations unless you have any more questions for him.
Not me.
All good.
Yeah, I'm pretty satisfied.
Alright, now it's back to the town of Valaki.
What time is it?
It's still morning. Like this camp wasn't too far at all.
Yeah.
Well, now we have to go to see the Baron, get into his library, be able to save Logo's life.
Do we?
Well, I don't know. I was just thinking.
I mean, just the brief time we didn't even talk to him, and yet I had to bite my lip so hard.
Yes. Well, no, now we're no longer officially affiliated with Irina and her family, so anything we do, we won't be dragging them into it anymore.
That's true. Unless he's incredibly vengeful.
Yes.
I would be surprised.
Well, one thing I'm thinking is we just need his library, but not him. If you see where I'm going with this.
You don't need this. You don't need his library, just him.
No, we need his library, not him.
Oh, yeah.
So, perhaps, maybe. I don't know if any of us are good at this. But let's say we break into his house, go into his library, do some research, and then get the heck out of there before they notice.
In the middle of day.
No, we could wait till after the dinner party with the lady.
Could work.
I will give you a spoiler. I don't have the dinner party ready.
Or we could just go talk to him like regular human beings.
I could wing
And
it
elves.
if you really
And
want.
orcs.
I could wing it if you really want to do it. But I'll need a little break.
We can let's go the cordial route first. See if
We
he's
break in later.
Yeah, that
If he deserves it, like,
know happens.
Oh, well, okay. I will say I did read it. I did set up some stuff, but I didn't read it before
Don't
all
worry.
this.
It's just a little leftover Pim wanting to break in somewhere.
Yep.
I looked at my stats. I'm not really made for this. I'm wearing heavy armor, Joey.
Mhm. Even though your character is just wearing a suit.
Yeah. I guess I could just take it off if I want to be more. But I'm not sneaky. I'm just good at smart things sometimes. But yeah, let's head over to the Barrens. And...
Well, before you decide that, you enter again through the west gate. You see the roving refugees. Like, you enter from like this side over here. The refugees are mostly around here, so you don't have opportunity to interact with them. But the guard at the gate does stop you before you enter. And he goes up. Oh, you got to pay the fee. Oh, you enter Velaki, 1 gold piece.
Well, we just left.
So them's the rules. It's a toll. It's a tax.
Fine. Via will pay for it. And before you ask, no, we do not have any silver pieces.
He goes. He kind of like looks at you and at Romaia, and he goes, "Yeah, we heard the stories of what happened to the other gods the other side of town. I'm gonna have to insist you empty your pockets. Any silver pieces."
Immediately start pulling out the copper a piece at a time, giving him dead eye contact. Maybe this is silver. No, sorry, this is another copper piece from when I changed it for my silver. Wait, I think I found a silver. Oh wait, no, it's another copper for my silver pieces. I already exchanged. Wow, this is gonna take a while.
I just hope it's all in one big jar. Or a tiny grandma purse.
I don't know, I think she'd have a messenger bag, maybe? Like something, or a satchel type thing?
Which one of you has the silver barbs?
So Romaia and Minerva went 50-50 on it, so I have 10 and Romaia has 10.
Well, those are the arrows. Remember, you took some silver barbs from the Strix.
Yes.
Yep, but that's probably in a backpack. And they're probably focused more on the coin purses.
Yeah. I mean, they do take notice of your silver arrows, but since that's your property, they can't take it. So they say silver pieces are being procured to provide the silver for weaponry, and they'll give you compensation.
Yep.
So do any of you have silver pieces?
I do not, yeah. Grude doesn't.
Yeah, I already gave them, switched them out.
Okay, yeah.
How many gold pieces was it?
It was 1 gold piece for each of you.
Okay, so... Oh, hey, Vogelsuch isn't with us, so that's just 4. So,
We'll assume Romaia stay behind too, since Jess had to leave.
oh, she did?
Yeah, she got a phone
Okay.
call.
Okay. Via will pay the 3.
Okay, yeah. And he goes, oh, do we have to check them for vampire fangs? It's like, no, they did that being in the other checkpoint.
Yep, no update on teeth.
Grude,
Okay.
still the same Grude.
Welcome to Velaki. All will be well. Yeah, all will be well.
Yes, I keep hearing that.
It's true.
Yes, it is.
Yep, all will be well. Glad you agree.
Yes, we all fully agree with that.
That's good.
Good.
Great, even.
I think it's pretty great.
I'd have to agree with that.
Good.
Pretty well, even.
Yes.
Well, goodbye.
Goodbye, all will be well.
Minerva
This guy is
starts
much more
walking away.
enthusiastic about it than the first guard before the other
We
guy.
get- He actually believes in it and everything.
He drank the Kool-Aid.
Oh, see you at the festival.
All 3 of us roll our eyes as we walk past.
Alright, so... take a little break.
Okay.
I can make
But-
tea.
Also discuss what your plans are.
Yeah, I was initially just thinking about breaking in there so we didn't have to deal with him. But, I can see how that's maybe a weird approach.
How's that weird is a word for it.
It's definitely an option. There's no reason why you can't.
Yeah. Well, I was looking at my stats and I'm like, I really can't though. So
Yeah,
more
I
of my
can't.
skills is like it'd just be a bunch of like bumbling
Bumbling hoofs.
fools trying to rummage through a library without him
You
noticing.
remember they do have a giant man with a monster arm.
Yeah, that's the other thing is I'm like this would just turn in if we mess up, which is very highly likely looking at my stats. It would just turn into a fight sequence where we would possibly destroy the books that we're looking for.
And die.
You just destroy all the books.
Oh shoot, this is the opposite of what we needed.
No, let's sneak in by setting the building on fire.
Great distraction.
And I put the fire really close to the library, so it'd be really convenient for us.
Alright, where do you want to convene to discuss your next course of action?
I guess we're out. Yeah. I imagine Vogelsuch, because it's just on the map. Vogelsuch is just with us for intimidation factor.
No, he
I know
was he's still counting graves.
Yeah. God, for such a small town, he's really being thorough. Romaia had a headache and had to go lay down.
I think this is probably the largest town in Barovia.
All two of them.
Yep, there's actually. You look on the map.
Not that we know of.
On the map.
Do we have? Is our map as detailed as the one the character has?
More or less, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So you have Barovia, you have Valaki, and you have Rezik, which you can see way on the west here.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, there didn't look like there was much to the west for the Western Gate to deal with stuff.
Here's sure one heck of a travel.
Here's the mountain that the elf said he was visiting, way to the south here.
Okay. Yeah, that takes up almost a fourth of the map.
Yep. And just kind of remind you, this is indeed a valley. Like, it's surrounded by mountains on all sides. But, okay.
Alright, so the plan is to like ask nicely and then plan worse if he says no.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I'm not so big on giving this Baron a chance, but we do need his library. So.
And I'd preferably get the information without having a firearm have to deal with us.
Yes, that is the downside of borrowing being able to be in his house. But maybe we'll learn about why. I kind of want to ask him, where did he learn about the idea of that joy will free them from this mist?
Yeah, who gave him the idea?
Mm-hmm. Ugh.
A horrible, stupid idea.
I hope it wasn't in a dream. Although it seems like those things also kind of come true, so I guess I wouldn't be that upset. But just wonder, where'd this all start? Also, we're gonna get into his library.
So I think this R was meant for the mansion, like the Burgomaster mansion in Barovia. So I think this one would look a little nicer, the one in Valaki, but
And probably similar architecture, but
Yeah.
less dilapidated.
yeah, a little better
It-
kept.
Or with how joyful he wants everybody, he probably painted it much more flamboyantly.
Oh yeah. Oh, this music is a little creepier than I thought.
It is Barovia.
It's Barovia. I'm gonna find some just regular.
Just wanted some chill ambiance.
Yeah.
That's some chilling ambiance.
Let's see here. Should have been looking at this before. I mean, there is the soundboard that's just vampires. But he's not a vampire.
Red herring.
Yeah. Got tavern. I just want some ambiance here, so that's good. Tavern. But you find yourself at the gates of Laki's mansion. See if there's an introduction here. I guess you're not inside yet. But you see, like one of the biggest houses in Valaki. Burgermeister's, Baron Volakovich's. What do you do?
Does he have anybody at the door?
Like stationed there? No.
Polite knock?
Yep, you see a pair of knockers on the door. Give them a knock.
Oh, welcome back, Romaia. Oh, wait.
You know,
I get it.
we had a nice knockers joke in our last game. We played a few days ago too. But give a knock. A couple moments later, you hear some footstep, and an elderly man, a butler, opens the door. He goes, "Yes, may I help you?"
Yes, good afternoon. We were hoping to have an audience with the Burgermeister.
Names, please. Reason for visit.
Names all around. We are requesting access to the library.
He goes, That'll be up for the master to decide. But he has been expecting you. Lady Irina mentioned you to her visit yesterday. Said you might be dropping by. And the master has been quite curious about newcomers to his town. Right this way, please.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Right, he'll walk you into the mansion, and it's definitely, nicer than the one in Barovia, but it still shows signs of age. This mansion has walls of plastered stone that displays many scars where the plaster has fallen away from age and neglect. Drapes corner every window, including a large arch opening above the mansion's double entrance doors. There is a map of this place, but I don't want to bother with a map. But they will lead you through the front door to a study area. Any butler will open the door, and inside you see sorry, skim back. You see sitting at on a chair Baron Vargas Vlakovich, the man that you saw on the horse the day before. And on either side are two large mastiffs, which are kind of laying by its side. They appear to be resting, but when you're kind of introduced at the door, they kind of perch up and they give like a light growl.
They look ancient in those pictures.
Oh yeah.
Like carved with like withered stone.
Oh yeah, some of the styles in this book are very stylized, but
Yeah, it's cool.
but they are very large. I mean, not like huge, but you know, larger than you can kind of expect.
Yeah.
But the Baron will goes, oh, easy Claw, easy Fang. These are our guests. He goes, they're newcomers to Vallaki. Yes, they are. Yes, there are. And he gives them scritches under the chin.
I hope you don't mind our intrusion.
Oh, not at all, not at all. He goes, see, I was curious when I saw you during the incident the other day on the street. Well, I do apologize for that. Our little bit of unhappiness and disruption.
Oh no.
Oh, no worries. I'm glad it was resolved. I do hope that what was it? What did you call it? Rehabilitation?
Such a harsh word. Saying this little re-education.
Re-education, sorry. Has it gone well for her?
Oh, I think she'll be released shortly. Yes, yes. Sometimes they just need a little time to reflect. You understand? Oh, you must be parched. Where are my manners? And he snaps his finger and he goes, I want to bring us a glass of wine for our guest. And he leans in and he goes, make sure it's the cheap stuff. This under his breath.
Oh, you don't have to impose.
Oh no, not at all, not at all. He will say. He goes, nothing but the finest purple grape mash number 3 for my guest. Which you would recognize from the Blue Water Inn as the cheap stuff, you know?
Yeah. Ah.
And as the butler leaves, there's like this awkward moment where he's just like kind of looking at you, and he goes, "So, how may I help you? Do you wish to discuss the festival of the burning sun? It's going to be suspended. It's going to be spectacular, I assure you."
We are quite looking forward to it. Obviously, we intend to celebrate with it. But until then, we were hoping. Well, we are attempting to solve a quandary at the moment, and we were told
Quandary?
that you, being
Oh, like a mystery.
exactly, and we were told that you, being one of the most resourceful and knowledgeable people in town, had a library that we may possibly peruse to solve our mystery.
If it's not too much, that is. But
Exactly.
Ah. There's another kind of awkward moment, and the butler comes in with the wine. Hands you each a glass.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
dude.
It's like, my pleasure, sir. Cal looks down at the glass saying, "You wish to have access to my library?"
Only for a short time. I mean, obviously, we will we will leave with it uh, as we entered. We do not wish to borrow anything. We merely wish to find some knowledge.
And he goes, what knowledge may that be?
Oh, um, some old. It's hard to explain, but
Please explain. Try your best.
we are
Well,
essentially. Yeah.
we
Yes?
found this ring, and we're just wondering, what do these symbols mean? And right, Theo?
Essentially,
So what is knowledge you seek?
indeed.
Just to understand the meaning behind these symbols. Surprisingly, Grude knew some of it, but
What? What? Yeah, surprised. I know things.
and so now we're just trying to complete it.
I see. Takes a sip of wine, and even he cringes. Even he makes a little face like it's too bitter. You're like, oh.
Oh right, I hate this stuff.
What's understand? Not every. It's not a public library. Quite valuable tomes and scrolls and books. And I don't know if quite comfortable with guests. He kind of like stammers, like looking for an excuse. But at that moment, there's like a knock on the door, and without an answer, kind of a middle-aged woman steps through. And she's like, "Oh, August, darling, you didn't tell me we had guests." Oh, sorry, my dear. These are newcomers to town, and this is my wife, Alindia. She goes, "So charmed. You didn't tell me there was outsiders in town. It's been so long since we had any. I heard most of them die."
And
She-
I was not made aware that the wonderful Baron here had such a beautiful wife. An absolute pleasure, ma'am.
Oh, flatter me. And she gives a smile. But you can kind of tell it's kind of forced.
Man,
Saying,
we don't even need inside checks.
like, oh, did you know that lovely young woman that arrived yesterday? Irina. I barely was able to spend a moment with her, but I invited to our book club in town, and she said she would consider it. All the well-to-do women in town are a part of it, of course. So of course, a sister of a burgomeister would be invited. Did she happen to mention that? Did she say that she accepted or not?
I don't think it came up. I think we're focusing on something else. I think we were rushing the conversation a bit last time we spoke. So,
She was also
Yeah.
still rather tired from her travels.
Oh, of course,
and-
she traveled such a long way, the poor dear. Saying, those poor refugees. in front of the town. The poor Barovians. But when she mentioned that, Baron Vargas goes, so yes, but that is, of course, outside of the walls and none of our concern, isn't it, dear? And when Dia goes, oh, yes, of course, they're not, outside of town. Half of them addicted to those dream pastries, which just sounds so delightful. But of course, they're not for a woman of my standing.
So I was wondering about that. So they will not be allowed to attend this glorious event that you are planning?
Baron goes, absolutely not. They would ruin the mood, the vibe.
A pity. From all that they have gone through, you would think that something as grand and spectacular is what is coming up.
I will not allow it. They bring disease, addiction, and filth to my town, and I won't allow it. Saying, you're starting to sound a lot like...
Oh, no.
Lady Irina.
It was merely a thought, just that it would bring them so much joy. But that is all. You bring up wonderful points. I shall drop the subject entirely.
He goes, I'm glad. And, takes a large swig of wine, saying, you're not enjoying your wine. Please take a sip.
Who drinks it?
Minerva drinks it.
I get the feeling Vio is probably used to cheap wine. Yeah, he's good at it.
And Lydia will say to Vargas, Vargas, dear, she kind of kneels in to speak to him, but like loud enough for you to hear, saying, one of the other maids threatened to quit. What should I tell her? Saying she's worried about the hauntings. And Vargas kind of looks kind of paranoid for a second, says, not in front of our guests, dear. Tell them we'll give her a pay wage, a wage increase like the others. Oh, very well, dear. It's so lovely to meet you all.
Thank you. Ma'am.
And she'll
Charmed.
I'm sure she'll know your names, saying, Minerva and Romaia, you must join me for our book club this week. Oh, it's going to be such a... As I said, all the important women in town are a part.
Who else is with you, milady?
She'll start to list off some names that you're unfamiliar with, and of course, we'll not be inviting that Fiona Watcher. Bad batch those are.
No, I'm unfamiliar with them. We are, after all, just new in town.
Oh yes, you shouldn't. Vargas will go, oh yes, you shouldn't have any dealings with those types. No.
Is someone to avoid then?
At all cost. Bad stock. You catch my drift.
We shall take that into consideration. Thank you for the warning.
He ponders for a moment, and he goes, could give you access to the library. The cat is out of the bag, as it were.
You mean those hauntings that the lady brought up?
Yes. He will dismiss Lydia. Says, don't you have business to attend to, dear? And he goes, oh yes, all will be well. And she'll give a curtsy. Oh yes, dear, all will be well. All will be well, yes. She'll step out. He goes, you might have heard rumors of the glows in our attic. I don't believe them, of course, but, the servants have spoken of catching glimpses of a ghostly apparatus and, say, looking in mirrors and seeing the visage of something. And I haven't seen it myself, but many of them have threatened to quit. Managed to keep them on for, unfortunately, raising their pays.
How long has this been going on for?
The past several months. 2 months. Saying reflections in mirrors, a figure in darkened windows and hallways, saying sudden cold drafts. That I have felt. Is it chilly in here to you?
Is it?
The Baroness's lady-in-waiting has already quit because of it. I had to find a new one. Are you interested in a job? Say to you, Minerva.
No, I'm well, I'm self-employed, but I'm still employed.
See, it's fortunate. It's more of a daily lunch. Because, let's be honest, they probably don't know how to read. So.
So just be reading to her?
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, that'd be fun. Could make money that way, but I'll keep that in the back of my mind for later.
Saying, I should really read ahead some of this stuff. I think that the Baroness would wouldn't believe in the hauntings. But she keeps hearing silly stories about it,
Probably jealous it's not happening to her.
Saying, if you can find a way to rid our house of the spirit, I will give you access to the library.
Well, it comes out, or is most visible, or most occurrence happen about when?
Because all I know is that in the attic, outsiders have seen the blue light. But no one goes up there. The servants don't visit. Yeah. Saying, the only one up there usually is my son Victor. Spends too much time there, if you ask me. He should be outside learning his hunting skills, but he's just worried about books. Books and learning.
Well, an education is a powerful thing.
He kind of laughs at that. Oh, that's a good one, yes. Education.
Well, he shall eventually take on your role once you should you ever decide to retire, and a bit of knowledge it could prepare him to possibly become as great a leader as
that's
you
why
are.
We have scholars. Saying he needs to be learning how to become more of a man, how to hunt in the wilderness, survive on his own, the things people expect from a leader. I, of course, am an expert.
Of course. And we've already heard such wonderful compliments from your townsfolk.
Remind me.
And have heard all about your festivals.
Oh yes, wonderful festivals. It's going to be quite a sight. I had the fellow at the toy shop make these wicker symbols of the Morning Lord, and we're going to set them ablaze and sell them. And as the smoke rises, the Morning Lord shall once again cause dawn to appear all over Barovia, and Vistani in Valaki will rise from the mist into the sun. Isn't that a wonderful, wonderful idea?
Yes, I wonder, where was the inspiration for this idea coming from?
It was my own. See, all the festivals were my own idea. The Wolfhead Jamboree was one of my favorites. Yes.
This all came out, so nobody told you that this would work. You just know.
Yes, well,
Came to you in a dream, perhaps?
just like, no, my own idea. Saying Barovia is such a dour place. If I can cause happiness here in Vallaki, then surely that must make some kind of difference.
I'd agree with that.
Oh, I'm glad.
And after all will be well.
Oh, all will be well. Yes, of course. Remind me again why, what symbol you're searching for? I'm just curious. I'm sure my library can be of assistance.
Out of curiosity, was there any, like, twinge or anything on his face with the all will be well thing? Just like,
Again, like, kind of a forced smile, maybe.
okay.
Yeah.
Like, twitchy smile or something.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Like he is experiencing some forms of denial, and like he just really needs this to happen.
Yeah, pretty much. That's my thought.
Grude will like present the ring.
Yes. I have no knowledge of this, but you can search my library if you promise to take care of this spirit.
A simple enough request. Would that mean we have access to the building?
You kind of like, oh, I suppose.
Within reason, obviously.
Yes,
I don't
would,
want access to your bedroom.
no bedrooms. Sir Isaac, you don't want to trespassing into his room. No, he'd be very irate.
No, of course not. Simply just the allowance to walk down the hall without your kind butler having to escort us the whole way. That's all.
Oh,
I'm sure.
he will give a little clap though, and he goes, "Well, let him escort you to the library at least."
Thank you.
Thank you. And perhaps we can wait until nightfall and come back. Kind of later at night if that's when the occurrences happen.
Oh, at nighttime, I suppose, if that's necessary. I'd rather you not. Just respect our privacy.
Yes, as we said, and in and out. No visitations to rooms. Just straight up to the attic.
And we'll
And
take all the
we can
time you
always
need.
check it out now.
Yeah, take all the time you need. If you can't figure out a solution today, perhaps tomorrow, perhaps the next day. As long as it gets done.
Yeah, well, it'll get done. Yeah.
Not that you believe it to be anything real.
If anything, we're just demystifying what is happening.
He will go, it's like, just trying to keep my wife, in the dark, as it were. He's saying I actually have seen glimpses of this spirit.
Oh.
Oh, yes, but I'd rather not talk about it. I want to get rid of it so we can... Oops, sorry, hold on a sec.
Is there like any clues of what
He
it looks like?
pauses to check his
He
phone.
checks his, sorry, it's, got text. No, it's
My orb dinged.
my mom sent a message. I was making sure everything was right. Everything's fine. Because I just want to be rid of it and everything turned to normal, lest it ruin the festival. But the butler will escort you up a set of stairways to the library. I don't have an image of it, so use your imagination.
Books.
Books as far as you can see.
Yeah, let's do the Beauty and the Beast library.
Yep. You do notice across the double directional library is It's kind of a bedroom. He goes, here is access to the library. Well, that is Sir Isaac's bedroom. Off limits, of course.
Of course.
It's like the door was a little bit ajar, so
What's in the West Wing?
he closes it.
It is forbidden.
It is the forbidden room of mystery.
You're not definitely gonna go in there.
Yep. He goes, you have free roam of the library, and if you find a solution of our little problem, you can ask for my assistance.
Is there anything noteworthy of the issue? And, any like apparitions of a person or stories of where it may be coming from?
He goes, no one has gotten a good look at it. Just a quick glimpse in mirrors or windowsills when it's dark. Sometimes they see a figure at the end of a hallway that disappears as they go closer.
Come play with us.
Come play with
Oh no, it's a Silent Hill playable trailer.
So, nothing malicious has happened?
Yes, no, I don't believe so.
Well, there's good for that, at least. Well, we shall do our studying and hopefully come up with a solution for you.
It was very well.
What was that?
He said very well.
Okay.
Very well, sir. Let's see here. Floor-to-ceiling shelves lined every wall of this windowless room, and the number of books contained here is nothing short of astounding. A brass oil lamp sits atop a large desk in the center of the room. A chair behind the desk is comfortably padded and has a symbol of a roaring bear stitched into the back cushion.
Roar.
He goes, roar.
Grr.
Motion sensor and a speaker in his mouth.
Where to start?
Well, Grude, what was this again?
So it's like schools of magic, starts and ends with these two. Oh, is there like a magic section in this library?
Only one way to find
It's like
out.
necromancy and the other one, I forget that one is.
I guess pick a wall and start looking.
Did we? Yeah, I probably was leaving Grude to probably ask, is there like, it's not probably the Dewey Decimal System, but like, is there something that's organized?
Not really, no.
Is he one of those people that organized it by the color of the book, which makes it really tricky?
Yeah, it's just all colors.
Oh, good.
You can try
I'll check
looking
the red
up, like,
section, you check the blue section.
yeah, you can probably just try to look up, like, schools of magic and stuff like that. Everyone give me an investigation check, but you're going to be here for a little while. A little while checking.
Yeah. Do you want to be mindful of the dinner party tonight?
Yeah.
As well. See if we can two-time the Barons.
Can we be in two places at once?
If only.
What if I have like a clock sound effect?
You just gave me the a Grude doing a Mrs. Doubtfire kind of thing.
Here's the clock. There we go, should add that.
Yeah, that's good.
Get rid of the wind. Very windy episode.
Yeah, I was gonna. Yeah, he was. Do you think it's cold in here?
It's the ghost. Ooh.
Blustering wind is
Said it
blowing
was
in the
a
background.
ghost, but it seems like all the windows are open.
Yep. Alright, perception check. Or investigation.
It was the dogs.
Grude, give me an investigation check.
Here we go.
19.
I'm just really good at this, guys.
Why is this so hard to believe?
Like, you occasionally find, like, a book about maybe a school of magic. But, like, nothing matches the symbol. And you're just, like, randomly looking around. And, you find a tome of, a genealogical tome archiving the births and deaths of Velaki families.
Okay.
That seems sort of important. What do you got there, Grude?
Looks like it's all the families. Like maybe we can figure something else this way.
What? There's a triangle family.
Well, no, it's just interesting that there's a book on these families and all cataloging their deaths.
Wouldn't be unusual, but, you know.
Oh well. I probably expect there to be a couple of those. If they, his mention of bad breeds and such, lineage is probably pretty important to upperclassmen like this.
Do any of the names stand out or anything? I guess it's hard to.
Yeah, like, you can start looking through it, but I'll save you some time.
No.
Like, no, you close it. A name does stand out to you. In one of the deceased list. You see the name Irina Strenzi.
Wait a minute. Isn't that
Do we know Irina's last name?
Yes.
Or she even had one?
I had it
It was
here.
on a bracelet. It was on a
It's
piece of.
no, the bracelet said like Titania. It was like
Oh,
she had no
sorry.
idea what it was. Oh, I have it on the letter here. Hold on. I'm so bad at names. Remembering names. It says Irina Poliana, and you know that's just the name that's of the Burgermeister.
Right.
And you know she's adopted too. She didn't keep that a secret.
Yeah.
But you kind of look at that. It says the death was nearly 18 years ago.
Oh. Oh, I just had an idea. I'm wondering if the Burgermeisters had lost a daughter, and when a new daughter showed up, that's why they adopted her.
So yeah, you look around, kind of like investigate a little more. Presumed dead nearly 18 years ago. In parentheses, it says reason unknown. It says presumed devoured by wolves. Parents are Gregory and Fatima. Both marked suicide by hanging as a reason for death. And another name catches your eye. Is that the parents have a son named Isaac Stronzi.
This seems very peculiar.
And you would know that would be the name of Isaac, the last name of Isaac, the big hulking guy.
Isaac is Isaac?
I won't say the last name.
Ah.
Wait. if this might sound weird, but would that mean Isaac and Irina could be related? If it's the same ones. I understand there's others in this Irina's supposedly passed away, but this all seems a little bizarre.
I don't recall seeing any similarities, apart from her hair is the color of his arm.
Does it give... I mean, that was obviously added later. It's like when you dye your hair. It's not real.
Well, if you remember, that arm is like huge and long and kind of on fire.
It's just like a flaming bugbear arm.
Yeah,
Yeah, he looks like a Resident Evil monster.
Yeah.
Stars. But would it say that Isaac was older than the Irina in this book?
The records would show that he is a older brother.
Okay. Because then, if he was the older sibling, and he remembered his little sister, that would mean maybe why he gave her such a weird look, and why he has an obsession with dolls with red hair and darker skin.
I hope that's the reason. Because if it gets into a bunch of other reasons, then it gets really, really bad.
And even worse if it's both.
Ugh, awful. But yes, no, this is very interesting. It's weird though that none of the names in the books match the name in the bracelet or
Of
the piece of jewelry with the name.
Titania.
Yeah.
It's probably her first name. But you don't see any records of anyone with that name.
Okay. Well, not what we came to find, but it's definitely something, perhaps.
Food for thought for later.
And like you've only looked over like a fraction of the books in this like about an hour. You look there. You think you might be here for a while. If you continue to look, but around this time, the doors to the library open, and in walks a young man.
A monochromatic man.
Yeah, he is very gray.
No, that's a different series.
But this young man, about around 17 or 18 years old. He has a book tucked under one arm, and he's kind of looking down, and when he looks up, he's like startled to see anyone in the library.
Don't mind us.
Oh, sorry, I wasn't aware we had guests.
You do, it seems. Are you Victor, perchance?
He's a little taken aback that he knows his name, but he goes, he gives a slight bow, and he goes, yes, I'm, Victor Mihailovich, yes.
Pleasure to meet you. I'm Vio. That is...
He goes, may I ask why, you're here?
Knowledge. We are looking for information for, say, do you by any chance know this library very well?
He goes, I would think so, yes. He kind of looks around nervously a little bit. Sorry, I wasn't expecting anyone here. But you quite obviously notice the book that he's holding, has the symbol, same symbol as the ring. He's not hiding it or anything.
What?
Actually, would you be able to assist us?
As long as we're not interrupting anything, of course, young man.
Oh, I was just searching for a book. Saying you wouldn't happen to seen a book called ethereal entities, denizens of the unseen realm. Have you?
Not to my knowledge.
Oh.
Not yet, sir.
So, what is that book about? The cover looks very familiar.
He kind of like looks at the book and goes, "Nothing. It's just a old book. Nothing the matter about."
Minerva, could you show him the ring?
Well, yes. We'll hold it out.
Hmm.
We found this ring and, well, we're trying to figure out what it means.
His eyes go a little wide. He goes, "Oh dear. Well, oh, let's get my thoughts in order. No, first I must find this book. He goes, see, it would be under the M's, under Mordenkainen. Yes.
You may need both hands. May I hold that for you?
Give me a persuasion check.
Very sneaky bun.
$14.
Yeah. He goes, I'd rather you not know. But I will help you. I just need to find this book. It's very important.
Much appreciated. In that case, we'll help look for the title. Right?
Yes.
You got it. I've been
Yes,
pretty good at this. 1 second.
It is ethereal entities, denizens of the unseen realm. Yes, by another known as Mordenkainen.
I think Minerva found it before you finished that sentence.
Yes, I
Yeah.
hear this. Oh, with a crit, yeah.
Oh, I found that one in the green section.
I'm like flipping through it as he finishes the thing.
Yep, and it is a leather-bound book, ethereal entities, denizens of the unseen realm. Oh, there it was. I seem to have misplaced it. It must have been returned to the library. It is a slim hardback book with a leather cover dyed in deep midnight blue. Its title and author's name is embossed in silver script along the spine and front cover, which are adorned with a small silver filigree resembling ethereal wisp. Its pages are filled with neatly written text and beautifully detailed illustrations.
Well,
Goes
does
on.
any of us know who Mordenkainen is, by the way?
You can give me a history check.
I feel like probably not, but. What the hell, Grude?
Grude just knows everything this adventure.
Like, doesn't that sort of like a thing when we built the character? He just like been to a lot of places.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently to university as well.
Mordenkainen would be a name that's kind of well known. He's a very famous wizard.
Don't you all know that?
But perhaps you're a little surprised to hear of his name in an entirely different realm.
I guess that's true. Yeah.
Me and him went to some pretty wild parties.
You would also recognize the name on the chess set in Zybilna's bedchamber. It was a gift from Mordenkainen. And not you, the characters, you, the players. If you remember in the Wild Beyond the Witchlight.
Oh yeah.
Wait, who?
Mordenkainen. He gifted a chess set to Zybilna in Wild Beyond the Witchlight, yeah. Or AKA
I forgot about that.
AKA spoiler.
You don't have to say it.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil people. But go watch Wild Beyond the Witchlight.
Already out now.
Yep. Watch it all. But Victor will go, I promise to help you, a man of my word. Zayna, he escort you to the attic, to my laboratory. Or that's what I like to call it, anyway.
I can already sense Minerva's smile.
Oh, I can't wait to see what you have. I had this. I wouldn't call it a lab. I called it a workshop. But
Well,
I'm pretty
okay,
sure-
I was about to say it's more of a workshop. It's more of a workshop, actually. Are you are you an inventor too?
Yes. Oh, yes. And then the little like cannon thing. That's because it's got like almost like millipede legs. Like,
Oh dear, I didn't see that before. How ferocious.
yep. It's just it's quite lovely. We almost died in a death house, and so I stayed up
dear.
all night and made this.
Sounds terrifying.
Yes, so this helps me feel safe.
Right.
That sounds so ominous now that it's gone.
Yeah. Now that the ticking stopped. To do.
I guess our time is up.
Yeah, there's not really a description here, but he kind of makes his way through the attic. He says, my workshop is at the far end. They hardly ever come up here. And he takes you through kind of like a maze of old boxes and crates and just all this stuff. And there's a small room on the far end. And he opens up to this and he goes, yeah, quickly disable the runes here, and he will open like the alarm. I don't want an unwanted guest here. He will kind of open up the book and flip through it, the one that he was carrying under his arm, and he'll murmur a few words. He goes, touch this door without disabling the runes, and get quite a shock. He'll open it up. You see a quite cluttered workspace, but a small skeletal cat will kind of hop off a piece of furniture and nuzzle up against Victor.
Oh, you have a pet.
Oh, yes. So don't tell Father about this. He believed Mirka died years ago, and she did. Oh.
Well, no need to tell him something he already knows. He seems more of a dog person anyway.
You're a meow. These will jump down and begin to sniff, begin to like curiously like sniff around, and they start playing around. Victor goes, "Oh, what is that creature there? Oh, I've never seen anything quite like it."
My machine?
No, the squirrel.
That's some, yeah.
Oh no, sorry. It's a squirrel.
Oh, it's kind of cute.
It's really cute. It can like climb really fast. It can put a lot of stuff in its cheeks. He's really cool. This is D's. He likes nuts.
I'm afraid I don't have any.
That's okay. He had a ton from the inn. I think he's still packing away.
Also on a side note, it is hard to fake a stutter even if I have a stutter.
You did great.
But that is the intention. He's supposed to have a bit of stammer.
Speech impediment.
Yeah. Everyone give me a perception check real quick.
I mean, I know you've heard me do Simon, so I know the feeling.
Are you kidding me? Okay, never mind. I thought you got another, like,
I was gonna
perfect-
say,
no,
man, that's like your third, fourth crit today.
No, it's a 12, yeah.
Oh, that's history. Okay.
Yeah, it's a 12.
I was looking at the wrong thing.
22.
Victor says, as you may have guessed, this is a spell book. Merca here was one of my first experiments, you could say. I know Father wouldn't approve.
Well, necromancy, depending on its purpose, can be frowned upon, yes. But I don't see anything wrong with bringing back a beloved pet. There are others?
He goes, oh no, just the one. He goes, for now. Anyway.
Well, I can see with death looming over top of you, it's nice to know that there's a option to make sure it's not the final thing.
A few things you notice as you enter here. First of all, when you entered the door, there was a sign that said, all is not well.
Gasp!
Yeah, oh, the slander. Sorry, this one was in the actual book, not the supplement.
I may swoon.
Yep. So, someone has taken an old mismatched furniture and created a study in this dusty, lamplit chamber. Tables are strewn with pieces of parchment, on which strange diagrams are drawn, and a freestanding bookshelf holds a collection of bones. A rusty rug covers the floor in front of a pine box, which lounges a skeletal cat, which is what you saw. Most unnerving is the sight of three small, well, it says children, but they're mannequins, standing with their backs turned to the northeast corner of the room. I don't want to give the impression that there's creepy children here.
Only creepy mannequins.
And you, there is a circle of runes in one corner of the room, and there's a mirror in one corner. And with that 22 perception, just for a second, Vio, you see the visage of a young woman that quickly disappears.
Noted, but not spoken about. Yet. So
But-
you're you're practicing?
He starts like taking up his parchment and starts like organizing them. It's like, oh, pardon the mess. Yes, I've been practicing magic here. It's probably responsible for all the weird occurrences around the house. So don't pay any mind of them. No.
Yeah, your dad really wants that to stop. Apparently, they're having to. People are leaving.
Oh,
We
Merca
said
must
we'd
have.
look into it.
Merca must have escaped. Maybe she's traveling through the walls. If they've heard any strange things. My
Merca?
magic might have accounted for some of the strange occurrences.
It wasn't cat-shaped, unfortunately. That's been seeing a lot of humanoid shapes and faces and places.
Faces
Yes.
and places.
Often in mirrors. Glances directly at the mirror.
Yeah, his eyes dart there. He goes, mirrors?
Reflections and so forth. Obviously, nothing has been damaged in the house, luckily. And we've run into the more dangerous kind, and we are be happy for that. But whatever it is or whoever is spooking the maid staff, it seems.
He goes, okay, I admit there's a ghost, there's a spirit.
Did it happen to be maybe a unknown side effect of the different magics you were doing?
Or was it intentional?
I rather focus on that symbol. It's like, but I don't want Father to know.
Why would we tell him?
Because they could go for more extreme measures to deal with them. And I don't want that to happen.
How would they do that?
They could perhaps
An
ask the
exorcism?
priest to come up.
Oh, if he got word there was an actual spirit and call upon the priest at the church to perform an exorcism and... Oh, he began to look nervous and he goes, please don't tell him.
We have no intention to do that.
Oh.
By the way, love the sign.
Oh, yeah, then no one comes up here. He hasn't noticed it.
If you seemed more courageous, I would suggest putting them up all over town, but...
Oh, dear me, no.
I would love to see the look on his face if he saw them, though.
That would be funny, I admit. Oh, but,
Does she have a name?
he goes, who?
Your friend.
In the mirrors.
I, rather not say.
Very well. I know.
Please, it's
As I said,
a private matter.
yes, no harm is being done. Merely asked. What were you saying about the symbol?
Oh, yes, of course. Goes, regains his composure a little bit, taking one more glance at the mirror. He goes, okay, yes, well, it was about 2 years ago when I found this spell book in the library. Father didn't know I took it. He goes, but it belonged to a wizard who resides here in Barovia. Did you?
The one you were looking for earlier?
He goes, oh no, that was for another matter. Okay, I admit it was to help with my spirit friend, but that's all I'm going to tell you.
Okay. Should we worry about the fact that that symbol was on the ring of a body?
Well, that is perhaps the two are connected. Kind of holds out his spell book, and it does have the same pattern on the front. He goes, the spell book once belonged to a mage named Kazan. He has a tower here in Barovia, next to a lake Baroque. See if I can get a name here. Baratok. So there's a Lake Baratok where he has a mage tower. It's his sigil. He goes, you'd be interested to know it is the symbol of necromancy and evocation on either side.
What's the
I knew that.
You did, Grude. What's the significance of that, though?
Well, the spellbook is full of necromantic and purification magic. Perhaps it was his area of expertise. But it gives a history of his tower in here. Said he imbued it with powerful enchantments, including a protective field that prevented spellcasters from using magic from within. I wonder why, for his protection, maybe to remain unseen.
A spellcaster protecting his own home from spellcasting?
Oh yes, from you know who, I imagine. But he died years and years ago. Somehow his spellbook made its way to my father's library. Saying if, like, where did you find this ring? Were you at the tower?
No, it was found in the forest. Just a short bit outside of town.
Oh, kind of.
On a corpse.
He goes like, I've never been outside of town, and then he hears the word corpse, and he goes, oh, a corpse.
Strangely enough, it had no head either.
Oh dear. He turns a little pale, more pale than he is.
No more details, don't worry.
Yes.
Nobody you know.
I would think not, no.
But we're hoping to find out what kind of link it has, or why they. We don't believe that he owned the ring. It may have been whoever removed that, but we have pretty much nothing to work on apart from it, just the ring.
Well, I would think that it's not coincidence that they both share the sigil. Investigate the tower for more clues. Wherever the owner of this ring perhaps came from there. Yes.
But you said that they died a long time ago?
Yes.
But maybe somebody else moved in.
Yes, outside the realm of possibility.
Do you by any chance know where it is?
Goes,
if we show you a map, can you write it down?
He goes, oh yes, of course. You take out his map, and he goes, and there is a small lake, not too far from town. He goes, Lake Baratok. Unfortunately, there is quite a bit of forest in between. I do know of a pair of hunters. One of them is named Saladar. Father had me go on one of his hunting expeditions to man me up, in his words. I did not enjoy the experience, but I have a great respect for Salazar, and he did teach me much. If you need a guide, I know that you can hire him to or his partner to lead the way, but I know they don't come cheap. He's the town's most skilled hunter.
No one skilled ever comes cheap.
Soladar, sorry, this is me. Skoladar Skidolarovich. So good he named him twice. I was talking about this the other day. Does bitch just mean like son of? You think, like in Germanic or wherever this language is?
Usually it's actually the word son.
Okay, yeah. So he's basically Skoladar Jr.
Are you Gunnar Gunnarsson?
Gunnarsson? Hello, I am Gunnarsson.
It is about your son, Gunnar Gunnarsson son.
Gunnarsson son. if you want to solve this mystery, Kazan's tower would be a place to start. But I do have a request. Saying if you do find anything of interest in the tower, I heard that Karzan had a powerful magic staff. I don't have a proper spell focus. If I had access to the staff, perhaps I could it would be quite helpful.
Perhaps. I do have a question.
Yeah.
What is your intended goal for learning this knowledge?
He goes, I want to help a friend.
That friend? Glancing at the mirror.
I want to help a friend. And he goes, I want to help both of us.
That is incredibly vague and mysterious. So, I will be vague and mysterious in agreeing to bring you anything else.
Especially if you find that staff.
We'll consider it, but
Like, I guess that's all I could hope for and ask for. He goes, this time of day you'll find Saladar, on the banks of Lake Zarovich, near the mouth of the Luna River. They have a hut there. They're probably smoking their meats. It's not a euphemism. They smoke their meats there.
that's the one to the north of us, right?
Yes, to the probably to the west.
Oh, okay, so not the one above town.
Here, I'll show you a map. I don't want to change the music. I'll show you later. He goes, you can hire them if you wish, and I do recommend it. If you have the coin. And he goes, thank you for not telling Father.
We were pretty much only nice to him to get to the library.
Yes, I don't really understand what you're doing, but I just hope you are careful in thinking through all the possibilities, good and the bad.
He goes, yes, good and the bad. But I must return back to my studies. He kind of puts the parchment. He kind of puts the parchment back on the table, starts to unravel it. He goes, thank you so much.
No worries, though I do suggest lay off on the light shows. Ask your friend to make less appearances. Make it look as best as you can that the spirit your father is afraid of has passed. So that way things do not escalate. We don't want anyone hurt.
I go, she gets reckless. She tends to wander.
I understand being cooped up in the house, I suppose. But maybe avoid people as she explores.
I'll give her a talking to.
Well, thank you.
Alright. The skeletal cat will hop onto Victor's lap as he sits down, begins to stroke it, get little pets.
No,
But it's not quite as comforting as a cat with a skin and fur though. So, but you hear a purring sound.
Does it rattle?
Yeah, rattle a little bit.
It's like a
Dee-
xylophone.
Yeah, Dees will hop up on top of Grude's shoulder.
I hope my cat doesn't chase after him.
Oh, he looks jealous.
But I'll just move things along with it. When you exit the house, the Baron is a little disappointed they didn't find any information about the hauntings, but he says, "I'm going to keep you to your word." And you will gather up Vogelsuch and Romaia and begin any preparations. And next time we'll venture off to Lake Zarovich.
Ooh.
And
Wizard
then
Tower.
dinner.
Yeah, then after dungeon dinner.
Yep. Imagine you can go back to the Blue Water Inn, get some lunch before you head out.
Yeah.
And even though it is the middle of the day, there are people enjoying their wine. You do hear one person go. It's like he goes. They go, "Erwin, my man, I am feeling like some red dragon crush today. This is the good stuff." And Erwin goes, it's like, "Oh yes, the good stuff." He goes, "That will be silver piece for a goblet." He goes, "Oh my man, I just feel that certain mood today, I think I'm worth it today." He goes, "Oh yes, here you go. One glass of red dragon crush." As he goes on the back, you hear his wife, Danica, go, like, "Erwin, we are running low on stock." It's like, "Are we sure we should be selling all this?" And he goes, "Yes, I know that the delivery from the Wizard of Wine is a few days late, but he's a paying customer." He goes, "It's like, okay, but just know in a few days we will be dry." And he kind of said this within earshot of you.
You're gonna have to go get some wine?
Yep.
Something's wrong with the wizards.
Wizard wine.
I was actually wondering about that. Who are the Wizards of Wine?
Danica will kind of step forward. It's like, "Oh, I'm sorry you had to hear that. It's just the delivery has been late." Saying our family actually owns the Wizard of Wines. They provide people of Barovia with their only source of happiness, which is wine.
Is it just a company title, or are there actual wizards?
Kind of smirks and he goes, "Well, it's another family secret that they're not actually wizards. It just makes them sound important."
Good advertising can be magic in itself.
Branding, yes.
But don't worry yourself about that. Happened before. Just probably roads get a little dangerous these days.
Indeed, especially these days.
But you guys have lunch. You step outside, and once again the roof is covered with the family of ravens, like when you first arrived. No sign of the blue-tipped one though. Again,
Not our favorite.
our favorite blue-tipped raven.
They're the best blue tip raven.
Yep. Only the best blue-tip ravens for this blue water inn. But that's what we'll call it for tonight.
Yay!
Nice.
As our audience of ravens applaud.
Yep. The little cause. They can actually mimic the sound of applause.
And it just opens their mouth and it sounds like applause, applause.
It's canned applause.
Yeah.
And congratulations, this is lucky session 13.
And we didn't die.
Didn't die.
We technically, I think you can die almost at any point. So
I'm sure if we like broke in, went straight into Isaac's room,
and you're like, hey, you freak!
Yeah.
You!
Yeah.
We're fighting!
Yeah. I think we could have died there.
He said,
did that.
like, he didn't seem to be
Yeah,
there, so
Isaac could have come in and say, "Hey, nerds."
putting on locker.
And that mentally would have done so much that we would have died.
Did
Oh, what's that?
50
Fisher's
nerd
locker.
damage.
Oh no! I'm disadvantaged because I'm a weeb.